Yes, once again, folks, I'm just so excited tonight. I'm telling you, we're back. I know you guys missed me. I had to take a break there for the end of the year, but the Black American Relationship Reboot is back for the world to see. YouTube, I love you guys. Just want to say thank you to everybody out there tonight. We are blessed to have on the show with us. And I've been telling you guys for a while, I'm going to have her on. This is the book. Is God a Chauvinist? The Bible and Women, a complete look. And we have with us tonight, Miss Rita Dodge. Say hello to my viewing audience.
Hello, viewing audience. It's wonderful to be here. Yeah. Mr. Cummings, I want to thank you for inviting me.
Yes, indeed. And we're glad to have you. And we're going to just dive right in. And I got my lifted hat on. I want to put a shout out before we get started to Brother Ryan out there. Check him out, Lifted Prophet on Instagram. You're a good brother. Had to put that shout out with the lifted hat. It looks nice. We're going to sit it right down in the front there. We're going to get right on to it here. Is God a chauvinist?
No, he is not. He is not. And when I say chauvinist, of course, you know, you can be a chauvinist, you can be a female chauvinist or a male chauvinist. Really, this book is asking, is God a male chauvinist,
okay.
Actually. So no, he's not. But a lot of people think that he is.
Okay,
so that's
now
why I wrote the book in defense of the Bible.
That's right. So let's start with the Garden of Eden.
Okay.
Okay. We all know, Christians for sure, we know that when God made man, he made man out of the dust of the earth. He put Adam in the garden to tend the garden, take care of everything. And Adam realized the animals couldn't help him out as much as he needed to tend that garden. So he said, man, he gonna need a helpmate. And he made woman from man's rib. And that's where we begin now.
All right.
Was woman made just for man?
Well, she was made as a helpmeet for him. You know, God, as we see in Genesis, brought many of the animals to Adam, and none was suitable. There was no suitable helper for him. And of course, he's human, and everything else is not non-human. So the Lord put Adam in a deep sleep. We see this in Genesis, the 2nd chapter. And from his flesh made woman. And she's to be a helpmeet for him.
Yes.
So, of course, you have different theological viewpoints about this as far as the authority of the man in the garden.
Right. And that's where it gets kind of...
Yeah. And so what I tried to do in my book, I tried to put some of the various theological viewpoints, but of course I have my theological viewpoints as well.
Right.
And basically, from what we see, yes, she was a helpmeet to him. And the word helpmeet is a helper. It's the same word that is used for the Comforter as far as the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
You know, so it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing, all right? And when you're helping somebody, it appears that they were walking together in the garden. You know, she was helping him in whatever he needed to do because he was there to tend the garden. Of course.
Right, we know the story.
Yeah, the fall.
Right, the fall.
Yeah, the fall. Right. Well, with the fall, then we've got all this cursing.
Right.
Got, you know, they ate the fruit that they weren't supposed to eat and things of that sort. And then, of course, and we've got in Genesis 3, God was very upset about that. And in verse 11, and he said, who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree?
Right.
I commanded you not to eat from. And then the man said, you know, of course, when you, but, you know, here she gave me some, and I ate it. And
he said, the woman you done made for me didn't trick me pretty much.
Yeah, right. He blamed her.
Right.
All right. So, you know, in verse 13.
So it's you guys' fault. You messed up everything for everybody.
Well, now, the Adam's felt it was the Eve's fault. We'll just put it that way. But God punished Eve, Adam, the serpent, and he cursed the ground. Okay. All right. So he said to the woman, "What is this you've done? The serpent deceived me." So with the serpent, he's going to crawl on his belly. Right. And the woman, she is going to.
She going to have them childbearing pain.
I will greatly increase your pain in childbearing. Now, this is where that's usually all anybody ever talks about.
Right.
She's going to have greatly increase your pain in childbearing, which gives indication that there was a little pain before. Okay, but greatly increase.
Okay.
And also that tells us that she had been having some children. All right?
Right.
All right. With pain you will give birth to children. Your desire, this is the second part of the curse, will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. Now, for some reason, we don't talk about that part of the...
Now, what does that mean? Because that's when it heats up here. Because
Yes.
everybody out there knows this whole idea of submission and the man ruling over the woman. It gets really crazy, especially this day and age with the single mothers and feminism and all of this stuff. So what does rule over a woman mean?
Well, according to the masal, M-A-S-A-L, is the Hebrew word here. And it means, according to Zondervan, the NIV, exhaustive concordance, to rule, and this is on page 80 of my book, so to rule, to govern, to control, to make one a ruler, dominion, gain control, be in charge, ruler, master over. Now, so apparently, if that was a punishment for her, then apparently he was not governing, controlling, doing all this before.
Right.
All right. Apparently they were walking.
That was quite evident.
Yeah, right.
The fact that the snake was just spending a lot of time with Eve there.
Yeah. Apparently, so now he's got this control. He's ruler, master, but it's not necessarily in a negative way because it is part of a curse. It just is.
Okay.
So men have to be very careful because she will desire her husband. She'll want to be with him. And he will turn around and be very controlling and ruling, and that's a curse. So we have to be careful. Men have to be careful how they treat their wives because there's this curse hovering over. And these curses seem to go through dispensations. Like the snake is still crawling. The ground is still cursed because we still have famines in the land.
Right.
Women are still having pain in childbirth. All right?
Right.
And you still have to toil the ground to eat. All right?
True.
And men are still trying to they control women.
We're doing what we can out here.
Right. So, but my emphasis is that it is a curse, and that's what some people get upset about because how dare I emphasize this part of the scripture that's never emphasized, and I always say, well, I didn't write it; it's right here. Okay.
Now the part I want to get to.
All right, what do you want to get to?
Because I know, sexual. Because almost every guy I know who's gone through a divorce.
Yes.
Their biggest thing beyond bills and money is sex.
Okay.
And it's like, it seems like you get married and then the sex just dries up. It's like, oh my God, no more sex. Now, I know you picked the phrase from the NIV Study Bible, and I just want to read it, everybody. It says, her sexual attraction for the man and his headship over her will become intimate aspects of her life, in which she experiences trouble and anguish instead of joy and blessing.
Now, which page are you on?
That's 84 there. Right
Okay,
there.
yes, that's 84. And that was a quote from the NIV Study Bible, and we're still talking about the curse of the rulership. So there's joy there because she's supposed to, want to make love to her husband.
Right.
Want to make love to her. All right, but now this desire also brings with it this curse of this rulership, this I'm going to control you and be over you.
So that makes her angry.
That makes her angry. It's not as joyful as it was when they were walking in the garden before the fall, and they had different responsibilities, but nobody was ruling over the other. A lot of people say, well, he was ruling over her before the curse. It's like, well, then how can that be a curse then? If he was ruling over her before the curse in this manner, then then how could it be a curse for him to be? You see, that doesn't make any sense, right?
So it doesn't, because if you're saying submit to your husband, but then you're saying it's not going to be joyful for you, well, that's not going to be much fun for the man either then, is it?
Well, submission is a little bit different than this curse. Submission has to do with, and I talk about it on page 99. And it says, now, Ephesians 5:24, now as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit to their husbands in everything. And so we got to talk about that too, because a lot of people
Sex is part of everything.
yeah, but right. Well, no. Now, actually, in 1 Corinthians 7, it does say that the man is not to deprive the wife of sexually, and the wife is not to deprive the man unless they both agree.
Okay.
For a time, and then come back together. Otherwise, there will be some temptation there. So that's not supposed to be happening. If a woman is depriving her husband sexually, I mean, just doing it just because she doesn't want, then biblically she's wrong, and vice versa,
right.
if he's depriving her.
Okay.
Now, a lot of times what's happening, though, in a marriage is submission I say it's always one of the most exploited scriptures in the Bible, because a lot of husbands will say, well, she's got to submit to me and everything. That means any sexual desire that I have, she must acquiesce.
Right.
You know, she's got to do it because she's got to submit. And the word submit, it's really a word that's talking about be at the more so
Like an agreement with, right?
Yeah, or be at the disposition of.
We coming down.
We think of submit as
right. Well, we coming down to the end of the segment. We're gonna have 2 parts. We're gonna have 3 parts on this one, folks. So catch me on another show. We coming down near the end. Once again, is God a Chauvinist? Now, you on Facebook, right?
Yes, I am on Facebook.
Okay,
yes.
You can look at Rita Dodge up on Facebook. Any other social media?
Well, if they want to get the book, they'll have to get it from Amazon.
Okay, Amazon.
Or BarnesandNoble.com.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com. And I know you ladies, even you guys, this is the book you want to have in your house. When you know you have those arguments, you just pick up the book and say, hey, it's right here.
I don't know. She'll be able to pick up the book.
Well, somebody can pick up the book and win. I mean, it's a battle out here. So we're going to talk about, from there, we're going to talk about some other things in the next segment. Divorce, spousal disapproval, and just a whole bunch of... You cite an example here where, let's say a man desires oral sex. That's something he likes. He enjoys it. But his wife looks on it as something dirty and disgusting. It says in your book here that we just got to learn to live with it as men. Is this the way it is? What if the woman like oral sex and the man don't want to do it?
Well, here.